Well, hello everyone. Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. Today we are going to make a little project. This is what I came up with as my prototype, and it is a little lip balm holder. So I have this little Burt's Bees little lip balm. I think they're so nice and I love using them. So this is what I came up with, and you pull the string off and you open the end and you get out your little lip balm. Super fun, super cute, super happy with how they turned out. Now, to start with, you need a piece of, as I fiddle around with this sucker, there, we'll set that there. I have my measurements here. You need a piece of cardstock. Now, this is a total stash busting project, right down to the dyes I used and everything except like the ink and the ink blender. I think everything came from days gone by. So this is some old Eggplant cardstock. It is 4 1/4 inches wide by 6 inches long, and we're going to have to do a little scoring on this, and I have the measurements for the scoring written down there. I will try my best to remember I will try my best to remember to put these types of numbers into the description below that you click on that show more. I am using charcoal ink and my brand new to me, close to my heart ink blender. Just got these out of the Boxing Week sale and I really like it. It's very nice. I have some string from my stash. I dug out my mini envelope little die here. And I also dug out my, let's see, stitched bracket little square. Those are sold out. They don't have them anymore, but I have them in my stash. I love them and I use them. I also brought in these white acrylic hearts. These may still be something that's available. If not, they have other similar items, but this was in my stash and I'm using those up too. First, we have to do some scoring. So I'm going to move some things out of the way. So here's my oldie moldy, but well-loved Stampin' Up! Score board. On the 4 1/4 inch side here, we are going to score at 3/4 of an inch. And then I am just whizzing it all the way around and scoring at 3/4 of an inch. Just like that. So just two scores that are the same. Now with the 6 inch side butted up against the top there, we are going to score at 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and 3 inches. So this is what it's going to look like, just like that. Get the scoreboard out of the way, and I'm going to bring in my bone folder. Use whatever favorite bone folder you have. This is one I think I got from Amazon. It's a Teflon bone folder and I really like it. So we're giving these a good folding and a burnishing. I'm using my fingers to get the paper moving and then coming in with my bone folder to give it a good crease. And again, I'm getting the paper moving with my fingers. That helps. It helps a little bit to prevent cracking. We have white core in our cardstock, and that white core can show sometimes. But I find that if I get that paper moving with my fingers first, I don't have as much problem. The next thing we need to do is we need to do some cutting. So we have these little squares here at the bottom. We need to get rid of those. I'm just cutting straight up the score lines. So you can see I got rid of those little squares. Then we need to separate. These are all the little flaps. So I am cutting up to the next score. Just cutting up to the score. Just like that. So you can see those are all loose. Rotating it, doing the other side. And then don't let this scare you, but we have to remove this rectangle. And the same on the other side. Just follow along that score line. And that's it. So we've removed those pieces. This is what it looks like. So we've got the little flaps. And we're all good to go. Now, I want to do a little inking on here. That's why I have that ink blending tool. So we're going to grab a little piece of paper to protect my work surface. And I have a big stencil that is from, I think it's from Stencil Pack 2 that's in the current catalog. So this is not from my stash, though you can use whatever stencil you happen to have. And then I have my charcoal ink. And I want to put my ink, I'm going to scoot everything over. Pardon me while I get adjusted here. I've got that all lined up. And I'm just going to hold it in place with my fingers. But I want to keep my ink pad off of my stencil, so when I'm inking it, I'm not risking moving my stencil. And the trick with these brushes is if you want more pressure to get it darker, push down on the head of the blending brush. I use my thumb. I find that to be more comfortable. Other people like to use their finger. I really do find that the thumb pressure works better for me. And I am just rubbing that charcoal ink. This would also look great if you happen to have matching ink, a tone-on-tone look. Or if you wanted to make this out of white, you could do any color. It would look really pretty. And I'm just pouncing a little bit. I freshly re-inked this, so it has lots of ink. So, pull it away and you can see the difference. Isn't that neat? I love this stencil. It's so pretty. So what we're going to do is we're going to assemble our little box. First thing I need to do is I'm going to put some glue. You can use tape runner or whatever you have, but this last little flap here, I'll hold it open so you can see. So you can see it's the one where we cut away the edges. I'm just folding it over, and I'm going to take this long flap and fold it on top. I like to take my bone folder and give it a good press so that that glue makes really good contact. And this is just my art glitter glue from my stash. And you can see here where we made our little box. I am going to close up one end. And I'm going to use some glue to do that. I'm going to put glue on the two bottom flaps, put that together. I'm going to stand it up. And I do believe this just fits right in there. I'm just going to give that a little pressure so that glue makes contact with that paper. And now we can go about decorating this bottom part. We have the little envelope here, and that bone folder helps to make those creases nice and crisp. And then I do like to put a little bit of glue here. And again, we want to make sure that we're getting that paper contact to happen so that that glue sticks. This little stitched brackety guy, persistent. I'm cutting him in half. We're gonna fool the eye a little bit. I'm gonna pull our scratch paper out of the way. And I'm gonna line this up on one of my grid lines here on my mat. And I'm gonna throw a little glue on the back. And this little section here is 2 1/4 inches long. So what I want to do is get this fairly close to the 1 1/8 inch mark. Sort of centering it. You can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just this lovely little handmade thing to give to a friend. And I have this little piece of paper. This is 2 inches by 1 1/4 inches wide. And I'm going to throw a little bit of glue for stabilizing purposes, and I'm going to insert it into the envelope at a bit of an angle. And we're going to get it on there. I'm finding that that's sticking out a little more than I'm happy with. So I'm going to do a little trimmerooski on there just to make it fit. And you can do that. No one will ever know the difference. No one will care. And I'll trim a little bit off of this bottom one too. This was also 1 1/4 by 2 inches, but I trimmed a little bit off of there to make it fit a little better. That's okay. It's the beauty of working with paper as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to grab a heart out of here, and I'm going to use the glue. I'm just going to put a little heart right there. Isn't that sweet? Then we've got our chapstick or lip balm, whatever you like to call it. And then we need to do a little bit of some twine work here. And I like to line it up with about a little over the edge. Circle around. Circle around. And then I'm going to come back and go a little over the edge on the other side. Just, it gives me a little spare. And then I take those 2 ends and I'm going to tie a little bow. Good luck, right? There we go. We got a cute little bow, just like that. Super sweet, super cute, super fun. Just a fun little way to present someone with a little lip balm, chapstick, little type of gift. I hope you will give this a try. Dig into your stash. Get out those things that you bought because you wanted them so much and use them. It's great fun to play. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed, crafty day, and I will see you next time.